Lately, the quality and value of VR exclusive for the PlayStation 4 has left a lot to be desired. It's hard to say why this is the case, given its niche success and Sony's huge contribution to the consumer VR market. However, it's easy to see exactly when the corporation showed exactly what full-fledged VR product for its platform. The release day of a PS4 VR exclusive called Astro Rescue Mission. After Astro, many companies try to replicate the ingenious formula of this wonderful platformer created by the developers from Japan studio. Most VR platformers use the helmet solely as a live camera, allowing the player to observe what's going on from the any free angles, and thus making the player kind of god pulling his puppet. Astro used the camera not just as an object of observation, but exactly as a second playable character, and DualShock 4 controller controls not only the board, but also influence and change the surrounding world. As in the other colorful and cheerful platformer Only I Was story, tells about a company of robots traveling through the galaxy on their ship and experiencing all the charms of the new VR device. Suddenly, the abyss of space is cut through by the evil monster on a flying saucer, tears Astrolette apart, scattering the torn pieces to all corners of the universe along with the passengers of the ship, steals the VR headsets and disappears. In the ruins of the still alive but widely battered ship, there is only one Astro left. Astrolite is your person, and Astrobot decide to return everything to its place and punish the thief. Astrobot offers the player to visit 5 planets, divided into 4 levels, plus an arena with a boss, where you have searched for the lost friends and returned the torn-off part of the ship. Astro is endowed with a rather messagey arsenal of moves. He can jump, hover briefly in the air, punch with his fist, and swim. What makes this game unique is the introduction of direct involvement of the player himself in the mechanics. As mentioned, the player is a full-fledged character, a miniature avatar of a huge astroplane that travels in pairs with friends and engage in battles, puzzle solvings, and searching for secrets. The simple things required of you is to constantly swivel your head around in search of Astro while hiding missing comrades, but the farther you go, the more opportunities you gain. As you explore levels, Astro can find upgrades to the player's controller that will allow him to throw shurikens, install a water cannon, flashlight, machine gun, or allow you to use a hook on a cable, building paths for Astro that can get without your help. Inside symbiosis of the characters, you not only have to keep an eye on the safety of your friend, but only on yourself. Because in the enemies Astro fights with are not treated, then especially large individuals can easily rush to attack you. They will often to cause when you, admiring Astro behavior, directing him to various corners or the levels in search of secrets, will bump your head on a low stone barrier. In some cases you will just go away with a crack on your eyepieces that will block your view for a few seconds. In other cases it's easy to forget that you're not controlling a camera, but a full-fledged character, and anything that harms your robot is just as likely to harm you. As a result, while waiting to the right time to get past of flying projectile, you can forget to calmly take this flying projectile right into your head. There's no lives in the game as game elements at all. Astro dies with a single hit, but once defeated you will always roll back to the nearest activated control point without restarting the entire level. The only time you will be forced to worry about the dual safety is during boss puzzles. Astro can only take 3 hits, but even in the case of losing, you will simply restart the battle. The lack of lives leads not only a flaws of cutscenes, but also in the fact that the bulk of the content is passed in 3-4 hours, given that you won't be lazy and try to find your comrades hiding in the levels. But if with the duration of the main campaign the developers didn't push it a bit, they suppressed all their brother in the genre. The magnificent architecture, construction and style of each level, since the camera control are taken over the player's head. You get a really fast and engaging exploration experience. You can send Astro running in one direction, constantly looking in all corners and behind your back to make sure you haven't missed something important, without wasting time on camera control with a stick, and even more so without forcing your partner to run into empty location, as it would be done in ordinary flat platformers. The genius of the developers is also manifested in the fact that in Astro Bot there's practically no empty, and very few poorly decorated places. If you see some nook and realize that there is the slightest possibility to get there, then there's a prize waiting for you. You just need to think for a couple of seconds and find a solution, especially since you won't be allowed to run through their level. Admire its architecture and various challenges for the player. At the end of each world, after passing 4 main locations, you get to the boss. But before you fight him, the game will tell you how many collected little people you need to open to access to the fight, and you always need a little bit more of them than you will collect during a quick pass. So, when playing Astro Bot, you have two options. Either you pass the level fluently and then pass again, a little more patiently exploring the space in search of missing friends, or from the first go try cover everything that you can. The game pushes the player to the second option. Because the levels are full of various events, you don't need just run around the location and look in different corners. In front of you often unfolds a real show, as it crawled out of the bowels of Disney cartoons. From the very first location, Astro Bot teaches you that something is always happening in the world of this game. And not once during the whole game, the events are not repeated. The players board to staged scenes that take place in parallel with the game, and to the game situation and battles with bosses. It's all backed up by wonderful graphic and stunning animation. Astro not only moves and fights with grace, he reacts uniquely to the events taking place, walking on the tightrope, dosing himself with water, running from fire, fighting large opponents. After all, he's constantly reacting to you. Of course, the game doesn't have any breakthrough graphics things in its arsenal. It's just a perfect mix of component artwork multiplied by a savvy knowledge of a hardware. As they say, in every barrel of honey, the tar is the case of Astro Bot its own trump cards. The point is that we control the rotation and tilt of the camera, but it follows the movement of your robot, sometimes slowly enough, and in some cases, for example, like riding on a wagon in an attempt to escape from the collapsing tunnel, incredibly fast. All of this leads to the fact that the player with a trained vestibular system will be able to enjoy this game. If Astro Bot is your first VR game, you run the risk of ending your adventure without completing even the first, most loyal and easy level. The following drop of tar may seem like a trivial net, which once again proved the unique quality of this product. Stylish diversity of the world, the game has a huge number of dissimilar levels. However, the world where these levels are located are not so numerous as one would like. On top of that, the music lineup towers over these minor flaws. It feels like they wrote only 5 songs for the whole game, even if they were perfectly and tastefully done. In addition, the main part of the game offered the more two ways spend your time. While passing levels, you can come across a barely visible Hamilton, spotting and issue a token which unlocks a unique challenge dedicated to this level. There's a total of 26 different challenges in this game. Race for the best time, shooting gallery, and score points using gadget on the gamepad. Repeated battles with bosses, you can go through them at any time in any order. The player has opportunity to visit the inside of the astrolabe itself, where the bots rescued by the player are having fun. The ship is a mini arena that can be modified. Details for the location are knocked out through the slot machine, in which you need to hook balls with a thematic object for his or that location for the coins collected on the levels. It's an unfortunate omission that there is no special sense in running around these mini arenas. Astro Bot works more an immersive experience and a way to distract yourself from the main game. Astro Bot is by far the best VR platformer and one of the best PlayStation 4 exclusive to date. There is no need to suffer physics here, and the game feature perfectly calibrates mechanic. The developers studied all the nuances of the Iron and tuned all the shortcomings to their benefits, making a unique product. It seems that DualShock 4, with its backlighting, space tracking, internal speaker and touchpad, were created exclusively for this game. As all is its integral part of the game mechanics that are very difficult to replicate on other devices. After being completely saturated with this game, there's a sad question in the air. What happened to Sony Corporation VR development department? After releasing such a unique product for everyone, they actually wipe out all their developments and achievements year after year. turning the PS4 platform from an island of unique products into the breeding ground for mediocre and dull techno demos. Thank you for watching.